keep getting hundreds and hundreds of emails and web posts saying, who am I talking to? Sometimes I come in at the start of the show or start of a segment and I'm talking to John in Minnesota, or I'm talking to my crew in there. I have an intercom to Minnesota and an intercom out into the control room in there. And so I want to check and see if a caller's still there because I see something going on with the phone lines. I'll go, oh, hey, and I'll hit the talk back button, and then you can't hear me, and I'll ask him, is the caller still there? Or is that guest there? Or something like that. Because people keep making a much ado about nothing, about what's he doing? Let's lip read. I was asking if Rod was still there from Florida. But see, when I hit talk back, you can't hear. But my crew can hear me. So that's what you're seeing at prisonplanet.tv for all the viewers out there. Okay, I want to continue with your calls now, but and we're going to go back to Rod, but I want to answer his question. He says, I want to see more solutions. I want to hear more solutions. There's something very elementary here. Not just that we constantly ad nauseum talk about solutions. I mean, if people don't hear the solutions, they got wax filling their ears or something, or corks in their ears, headphones on. I mean, I don't know. But it's like blaring hip-hop music when the whole building's shaking, and somebody says, I don't hear any music, and the windows are boosh, 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 boosh. I mean, so it's like living downtown in 6th Street over a bar at night, and you can't even, these people move downtown, and they move in over bars, and then they complain about the bars. But anyway, it's like, I moved over a bar in the bar district. I don't know why I'm hearing this, but he's asking about solutions. And so I'm going to give him a chance to give us the solutions, because so often people that say, give us solutions, they don't have solutions. But I bet Rod, a nice guy in Florida, I bet he does. I will tell you what we don't give you is easy cookie cutter ones. Instant gratification, drive through the Wendy's, drive through the Burger King, drive through the Sonic, drive through the McDonald's and get the food in 1 minute. And you see the men and women sitting there stamping their feet and getting mad because there's 5 cars in front of them and they got to wait 2 minutes at McDonald's to get some GMO. All we talk about is solutions. And the biggest one is exposing the globalists and how they operate and how they work and how they've got us all turned against each other and how they use race to divide us in the name of fighting racism. All their tricks on display, teaching people how the system works, showing people how to think for themselves. All of that is a side issue to the central one, with the Hegelian dialectic of problem, reaction, solution. The Hegelian dialectic of problem, reaction, solution. They create the crisis, then they hype it up and say, what is somebody going to do? There's a crisis. There's a problem. It's bad. What are we going to do? And then they have their people come out and say, the solution is this. Something the public would have never accepted before. But if they frame it like the public wants it, we want a solution. We want Congress to get something done. When the founders wanted separation of powers and said gridlock was good. Because if you don't have gridlock, you're going to get a tyranny 100% of the time. You want government off your back. So they set up a system where it'd all be tied up. And it was an incredible engine of liberty and freedom that it unleashed. So you hear this about solutions, and these politicians will come in there and they'll give you, oh, it's so easy. I'm going to get you a car and a job and no more problems if you just vote for me. And then 6-8 months into the administration, it's hell on earth. I'm going to keep you safe from Al-Qaeda. Then you find out the whole Homeland Security system's for you and your family and was designed from the beginning to suppress the American people in an offshore corporate takeover. It's the straitjacket to make sure you can't resist and get control of your government legitimately, and to call dissent terrorism. And Homeland Security documents saying if you want to audit the Fed, you're a terrorist. Well, I guess 51% say abolish the Fed outright. And what is it, over 70+% think it needs to be investigated? Well, you got 20-some% that are still mind-numb robots, and they're all the ones sucking their thumbs, calling us the kooks. Look at how far we've come. Look at the success that we've had. The American people are waking up in a big, big way. every single day, ladies and gentlemen. And I am just so excited about what's going on and what's happening. And 9 times out of 10, when I see people complaining, they're on the web, they're on YouTube, they're on the message boards, they're emailing me, they're calling, saying, meanly a lot of times, not like Rod, why don't you do more? Why don't you have more solutions? Or you're not doing it right. You're not, effective enough. Believe me, I know. I'm not perfect, but I'm in a fight. I'm being assaulted by a technocratic, eugenicist, scientific dictatorship. I am resisting it with my humanity. In any fight, you're not going to be perfect. Not even the best prize fighter, not even the best ultimate fighting championship, not the best Greco-Roman wrestler. They're not perfect, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't claim to be some expert at this. I'm somebody taking action, and so we spend all our time talking about how we need to talk about more solutions and how we need to do things better instead of taking action and getting involved. And I see so many other people that spend all their time critiquing others instead of being leaders themselves. But when somebody tells me we're not talking about solutions, when we say the states' rights movement, when we talk about taking over our local counties and cities, when we talk about pushing to get voting integrity, when we talk about exposing false flag terror so governments lose that favorite problem, reaction, solution system, when we realize that they create crises and then offer their solutions that are never what they claim they're for, but to get more control and vertically integrate the economy. This is a long, hard, societal, cultural process. We've become domesticated, poisoned, dumbed down, and turned into a bunch of scum, myself included. We have to pull out of this. It is a struggle. It is not just boom, easy. People are like, well, I want to see a solution with the Federal Reserve. What do you think it is to audit it? People say, well, I want to hear what the solution is once we audit it. Ron Paul's introduced bills of how to replace it. He has a bill with a bunch of sponsors to abolish it and a plan. And there's a bunch of other great plans and different debates about a gold backed or a government fiat backed or a partially gold or silver backed or different monetization systems or a different comprehensive annual financial investment system for dividends like Alaska has, where citizens get paid off of tax money investment. That's how much wealth the globalists created for themselves. We could have been all paid. They don't want us to get that, so they took the money, bankrupted it by design once they put it in real assets. I mean, I just give solution after solution. Don't take the vaccines. That's a big solution. Warn your neighbors not to take them. Tell police and firemen and medical workers that are being ordered to take it that there's no law, they don't have to. And in 2002, we said no to the Model States Health Emergency Powers Act. 14 million first responders told to take it. 4,000 took it. A bunch of them died. Tommy Thompson wouldn't even take it. Head of Human Health and Services, they suspended the program. Huge victory, absolute solution, hardcore info. I mean, they had a bill where the CPS in Texas could take your children, no judge, no jury, not even a fake order, take your medical records, computerize them all, which they've already done under other guises, use it, no more anything. We beat the bill. Just hundreds of solutions, hundreds of fights. We beat the Trans-Texas Corridor 3 times. First, they came out and announced they had it and then said it was a great thing, and then we said we didn't want it, so they said, you're crazy, it doesn't exist. And we said, don't try that Jedi mind trick on us, that game. Here you are setting it up. Then they said, okay, but it's good. Then they said they canceled it. Now they came back and said, oh, we're just renaming it. We just went and beat it again at the legislature. I mean, we're here swinging muskets, at the Alamo, fighting for our lives, and there's a bunch of people going, you need to swing your musket a little bit better up there on the parapet, and you need to give me a little more. I mean, I could just go for, in fact, I could suspend all calls, all guests, everything, and just give you solutions for hundreds of hours and victories we've had and everything we've done. I'll tell you the solution, it's getting up off our big fat butts and taking action against the New World Order. It's getting basic instincts of defending your family, never ratting out your family, not trusting the government. That's a big fat solution. Not complying, not going along, not giving in, becoming Americans again, becoming free people again, not being a bunch of trusting, gullible jackasses. Now, Rod, I want you to give me solutions right now. You're talking to millions of people, buddy. You give me solutions.
Well, one of the solutions that I had in mind that I really wanted to talk to Ron Paul about was, what do we do when the Federal Reserve...
Hold on just a minute. Hold on. See how you did that again? The spirit of complaining. We weren't going to take calls for Ron Paul. I said we're going to take calls after Ron Paul. You're on the air. I wasn't here to do it. You can send Ron Paul. What is that little thing? I mean, did we do something? It's kind of like we're not providing a service here. I mean, what's that statement there? That little. I wanted to talk to Ron Paul.
It was just that's what the question was based for.
Okay, go ahead.
Ron Paul. Don't get me wrong. I think that if it wasn't for you, we'd be back in the Stone Age. What I was talking about was very specifics, because, like, for instance, with the situation that we're in right now, the United States, everybody is so dependent upon credit. And they're not going to do anything if they can't have their Mercedes and they can't have their Harley Davidson.
That's what I said to Ron Paul. We are held hostage by these bankers.